Howdy guys, I've got a replay for you between UBIICA and lubli. So, UBIICA, he gave me some guidelines on how to pronounce that, but I'm probably still butchering that, so let me know if that's pronounced incorrectly. But I'll call you UBIICA for this replay, and a better pronunciation if you correct me next time. He sent this in for me to cast, and I will do so. Also, I've got a new microphone, so from now on, if there's any problems with my microphone or sound quality, that's just my OBS settings, and I need to figure out how to fix that. But hopefully there will be none. So we've got UBIICA playing Shadow, and lubli also playing Shadow, starting with Witch Claws. This is pretty unusual, actually. I want to say lubli was a fairly new player, or maybe he's a smurf, so maybe he just didn't have enough BFP for Dread Charger, but he's starting Witch Claws. It's not that big of a disadvantage, but if you can afford Dread Charger, there's actually no reason to play Witch Claws. So we've got Wrathblades by UBIICA. That's an interesting choice. I rarely see Wrathblades. Every now and then I see, what do you call them, Skeleton Warriors. TV Petty prefers Skeleton Warriors, but it looks like UBIICA prefers Wrathblades. For sure they're good S counters, and so yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Wrathblades are pretty good in Shadow Dittos, because Shadow doesn't usually have an SS, usually Shadow doesn't have SS units, and Shadow usually relies on Forsaken a lot, so the Forsaken will die to Wrathblades pretty easily. They're getting spammed a little bit now. It looks like lubli is microing very well to make sure that the Wrathblades die and they don't ever get up to full health. Yeah, but Wrathblades I think are still pretty superior units compared to the rest of, because lubli is going to be spamming S units, right? Because he doesn't want to, like if he makes Nox Troopers, or they'll die. If he makes Witch Claws, they'll die. But now with Wrathblades, if he makes Forsaken, they'll also die. Alright. I sort of expected Nasty, but maybe not. His own units got in the way, so Nasty. Oh, I'm sorry. These guys come over here looking like to cut them off and do... Because lubli looks like he wants to try and retreat up to this point, and UBIICA is not having any of that. Looks like lubli is still holding on. Let's look at the power levels. But I think UBIICA has... he's looking like he has an advantage, primarily because of the Wrathblades. So maybe that will convince some people to play Wrathblades in Tier 1. Alright, so it looks like lubli is about to lose totally, or not totally, but he's about to lose his ground presence. The Dread Charger's running away to get more health, and he's cornered off lubli, so lubli I don't think will be able to make more units. He can body block with this Dread Charger to slow him down. These Forsaken died because they were frenzied. And he's really trying to kill those... Oh, they did get away. Oh, okay. lubli has escaped. But UBIICA has a very large Tier 1 army. He can, like, take this maybe, and then go aggressive. There's no way lubli is going to be able to attack against this. UBIICA very clearly won this Tier 1 battle. But he's not taking this. If he did take this, that would maybe give lubli an opportunity to run over here and take this, which is better map control. So UBIICA probably wants to wait until he can take this and prevent lubli from coming over here to take this. Which it doesn't look like will happen. Lubli is welling up. Okay, we got a phase tower. So UBIICA has a very large Tier 1, which probably means he'll play pure Shadow. That's just my guess. Probably pure Shadow, or he may play Lost Souls with the light Tier 3, but nobody plays Lost Souls with a light Tier 3. Yeah, so phase tower, and we've got lots of Witch Claws. And we've got lots of units spreading. We see he's coming over here. Maybe he does want to take this one, but he also wants to prevent this. He really just wants to deny any map control to lubli, which is what you want to do when you got a tier 1 advantage. Okay, good nasty to prevent this nasty, because UBIICA was really trying to nasty over here. So that Witch Claw nasty was very good. And we've got the phase tower teleported and is going aggressive. So UBIICA wants to end this in tier 1. I don't think he'll be able to, but he's certainly trying. Okay, the phase tower dies. And we've got these, we've got UBIICA's favorite Wrath Blades. And after that, I'm predicting... Oh, okay, so this army... Is it going to live? Is it going to die? Okay, this army dies. lubli takes here. So I'm predicting that we're going to see a well over here. And I think UBIICA has decided to give up his tier 1 advantage and get map control. By give up, I mean he's not going to press for more than he already has. Which I think was smart, because he maybe overextended a little bit. lubli did a good job coming back from, you know, very lost tier 1. So you can take some lessons from this about how you can minimize, you know, tier 1 losses. One thing you notice lubli did is he waited, because after losing a lot of enemies, the void returns pretty quickly. And lubli goes tier 2. We have Shadow Frost. Pretty standard. UBIICA also goes tier 2. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. And we've got Pure Shadow, like I predicted, actually. Wrath Blades come over to here to hit these guys. He tramples these, but he doesn't want to hit them because they're frenzied. So he's just going to trample and run away for a little bit of CC. And we got a Night Guard. So UBIICA has a huge tier 1 army, actually. This Night Guard should probably come over here and get one shot off on this guy. Or not, maybe not. It's still going to die. Activating this ability I think was silly, because now they could potentially be weak in the future. Maybe it doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter, but it could have mattered. And yeah, UBIICA has map control, but is potentially at a disadvantage now. lubli takes a well. Will we see UBIICA respond with another? Oh, never mind. He took this well. That's why he's low on power. Never mind. UBIICA's still winning. He has map control and power advantage. He decides to take this well here, and lubli also wells up. So now is the part where UBIICA can. Now is the part where it's UBIICA's game to win, because lubli is out of power wells. So what UBIICA should try to do is to prevent lubli from getting any more power walls and then well up. That's not what he's doing. He let lubli well up. What's happening is that lubli is welling up right now, so the more wells that happen, the less of a disadvantage lubli gets from that tier 1. So from now, his tier 1 power disadvantage is probably completely gone. But as wells go up, Shadow Frost also does very well in tier 3, because it's like Shadow Frost is like the quintessential tier 3 lamer deck. So lubli probably has this huge tier 3 army. So, ooh, nice capture. So, that was probably a waste. Actually, that was definitely a waste to waste that shot of Phoenix there. But as power walls go up, lubli is going to get better and better. And I don't know how UBIICA's tier 3 is. So rather than like let lubli take a well and you take a well, I would suggest that nobody takes a well. You got another Night Guard here to swap out with the Lost Reaver. Notice he's not hitting him, he's just body blocking to slow him down to get that exchange. Now, these Dark Elf Assassins probably could have been a better position to follow. But, you know, it's easy to point out small micro mistakes when you're watching. It's a lot harder to, you know, have that foresight in advance. Good Nox Trooper to get rid of the Night Guard. We've got a little bit of an army coming here, but I don't think it'll do super well. I heard a freeze. Okay, we got a freeze on this attack. Will we see an Aura of Corruption? No, I don't think so. This attack drops. and UBIICA is going to be left with some nice Shadow Mages. UBIICA is playing this very well, I think. One thing that Lubli should... both players are playing very well, I think. Maybe Lubli... no, that freeze was no. But one thing to keep in mind is that one of Pure Shadow's greatest weaknesses is his lack of Shadow Mage charges. So that's one thing that Lubli should be trying hard, is to get rid of those Shadow Mage charges. So these two Shadow Mages that lived, I don't know where they went, but they lived, and that's going to be a little bit hard. We've got an attack here. It was nice when there were a couple other attacks going on at the same time, but those attacks all died, so I think this will survive. Oh, here are the Shadow Mages. I heard a nasty. I don't see what it did. Alright. So, UBIICA is clearly saving up power. He's got another Night Guard to deal with the Lost Reaver. But he's still saving up power, so... I suspect we'll see... I suspect UBIICA is trying for a Harvester. I don't actually know. Maybe a high power does benefit Pure Shadow against... nice Nether Warp to get them away and prevent the nasty. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. We've also got these guys doing here. I wonder if Pure Shadow actually is better than Lost Souls at high power levels because of Harvester. Obviously, I think and especially like if you go Shadow Nature, Shadow Frost, you got some of the same tactics. Is Lubli up power well? We've got 2, 4, 5 versus 1, 2. Oh, but UBIICA goes tier 3. Interesting. No Harvester, just straight to tier 3. Lubli's got not a lot of power. So this appears to have been a well-timed tier 3. Meanwhile, we've got UBIICA's leftover tier 2 army coming to attack. And I don't think that Lubli's tier 3 rush will do much. Especially if we see like maybe a Grigori, or are we going to see Lancer Nasties? Nope. Cultist Masters? Okay. It's super common to see Shadow Frost. Shield building, yeah. And now this attack, you use the Glacier Shell, so UBIICA can now come over there with maybe, I don't know what he has, maybe an Ashbone or something to help finish off that Glacier Shell, because he'll have a difficult time defending that now that he's wasted his Glacier Shell and he can't Kobold Trick. Yeah, this game looks very good for UBIICA. Especially because he's locked Lubli out of tier 3. So at this point he can almost just like buckle down and defend. And just as power goes up, Lubli's power will go up faster than UBIICA's, but UBIICA's gonna have that tier 3. So yeah, successful locking Lubli out of tier 3. I think we'll finish this. Oh, this almost dies, but I think it's still gonna fall. Okay, he's used his Glacier Shell there, which means this one's gonna fall instead. Glacier Shell, that's not gonna do much. That drops. We've got the freeze. Could have predicted that. I wonder if earlier, if he could have killed these and then nastied this, if that would have dropped it. I don't know how much they do, but I don't know what the max damage of a... I thought the max damage that the Nasty Surprise could do was 1,000. So I feel like that would have worked, actually. If he'd killed his Night Crawlers just with the kill button and then nastied the Silverwind Lancers. Earlier I slightly criticized UBIICA's play of going tier 3. I think that was a really good move in this scenario, because it really just shut down Lubli's counterplay and locked him out of the map. It would not have worked if he didn't have shield building in his deck, though. Something to keep a note. We got a Grigori, and yeah, I think this, well, I was gonna say it's over, but there's a lot of time left, so maybe what Lubli's gonna have to do is he's gonna have to rush over like here or here and get tier 3. That's really his only chance to live. Ooh, this almost dropped. I think if he'd spawned another Silver Lancer, this would have dropped for sure. He's not using his attraction. These Nightcrawlers are not frenzied either. Okay. So this Grigori's just gonna die to tier 2. Interesting. Also notice that UBIICA is getting... Actually, never mind. They're getting actually comparable power. 15 and 8 versus 12 and 7. Because the Grigori died. And there's another one over here. I'd almost expect... Never mind. I don't know how good Nasty is. Some people that don't play Shadow are like, including me, some people that don't play Shadow are like, oh, Nasty's just OP, just use it for everything. So sometimes I have this tendency to be like, oh, well, just Nasty it, and that wins, because as a Fire Nature player, Nasty Surprise is like the bane of my existence. Okay, okay. And we do see an attack launched here. We've got the Grigori attracted here. Oh, okay, okay. And he Nether Warped him here. Great move, great move. That'll be a solid defense. And really, yeah, he's just like super concerned about defending this. Life Weaving, maybe? Yeah, there we go. He's just super concerned about defending this because he doesn't want lubli to have access to tier 3. As long, and there is shield buildings there, right? As long as lubli can't get tier 3, he can't do anything. Lubli is taking power balls here, but you know, there's like at this point in the game, when you've got 12 void power, it doesn't matter how many power balls you get. Tier 2 is not going to beat tier 3. Maybe there are some factions that could pull it off, but yeah, no. This game, UBIICA wins. And this I think was a very nice mirror game. We saw UBIICA gain his advantage from tier 1 in the beginning, and we saw him keep it. We saw lubli try every trick in the book to try and squirm out of it, and he came pretty close. But UBIICA still was able to. UBIICA was still able to keep it in a chokehold. So very good play. You gonna see something else fun to finish this off? These Lancers are gonna come over here nasty. That's what I would do as like the ignorant Fire Nature player. UBIICA's doing a very good job with Silver Lancers, using them almost like I would use Burrowers in tier 2. Just like hitting all the places at once. These looks like they're about to drop. I know, not gonna finish this off? Okay. Lost Grigori. Or not Nasty. Life Weaving, maybe? No Life Weaving? Okay. Soul Shatter, maybe? I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying. We got the Grigori here. Lubli's doing a very good job of keeping his tier 2 army alive and finishing off UBIICA's tier 3 people. But, actually, this tier 3 is going on so late that UBIICA might actually run out of tier 3 units. I don't know, Silverwind Lancers have a ridiculous amount of charges, but it's perhaps possible. Interesting issue building that instead of the monument, but okay. Maybe he was worried this might die. UBIICA also has a ton of power. So what he should probably do is run out. He should probably start hitting lubli's units, because lubli also has a ton of power. He should probably try and start depriving lubli of charges. Ooh. This could be interesting. Okay, okay, nasty, because he's tired of this wall pressure. And at this point, okay, right, he's shield building just preemptively so that nothing happens. We've got the Grigori, and yeah, this wall falls. This monument falls. Okay, so now that lubli is down to tier 1, oh, he should nasty it? Come on. Nasty it? Nasty it? I don't even know. Or wait till he has, I don't know. Nasty there? Oh no. I don't know why he did that. That was interesting. And lubli hit him. I don't know why that happened either. Okay. UBIICA is coming very close to taking out tier 2, one of Lubli's tier 2s, but it's like not quite managing it. I think he'll get it this time. Or maybe not. He should have totally nastied those guys. Assuming nasty would have worked, he should have done it. Lubli is hanging on very well. And I'm not saying that Lubli should give up, because he sort of has a chance, right? If he can run UBIICA out of tier 3 charges. Ooh, okay, there we go. If he can run UBIICA out of tier 3 charges, then UBIICA is going to have a very hard time. He's going to have a hard time doing anything else, right? Because if he runs UBIICA out of tier 3 charges and then Lubli gets tier 3, then it'll be UBIICA who's sort of stuck playing basically tier 2 cards against tier 3. And this late in the game with all that power, that'll just spell like immediate doom. Okay, great nasty. We've got the Lost Reaper, we've got more Silverwind Lancers. UBIICA is pretty low on power actually. You got a ridiculous amount of, both of them have an insane amount of void power. So they're maxed at getting 20 every 2 seconds from the void. And power wells are like basically a non-factor at this point. Because these dropped, so yeah. UBIICA is getting 6 power from his power wells. While Lubli gets 3. Alright, is this going to be the attack that takes it? We've got both attacks going on at once. Yeah, so like actually, hitting power walls at this point does almost nothing, right? Because, right, Lubli's getting 3 power from his power wells and 20 from his void. So, pretty much like one power well is all his power wells together. If you took them all out, it's like 1/7 of his total income. For UBIICA, even with 6 power wells, if you took all 6 out, it's still only, you know, what, like 1/4? A little more than 1/4 of his income. A third to 1/4. 3/10 of his income. Okay, and this monument finally falls. And looks like the other one's going to fall too because he's at tier 2. Alright, everything falls. So now UBIICA should have the game won and Lubli quits. Alright, very good job. Oh, we've got a harvester just because. UBIICA was running out of charges. I told you that might happen. So Lubli lasted almost long enough, but not quite long enough, and I think his 2 tier was running out of charges as well. But yeah, great example of lots of things you can do when you're losing to try and get back in the game, and lots of ways when you're winning to sort of stop those counterplay options from the losing player. I'm glad UBIICA sent this to me. Thank you guys for watching.